Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, class. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello. Hi, Hogan. Nice to see you. Hi, I'm Zero. Hi, Eric. Hello. Yes. So, I'm sorry it took me so long to start the stream. I had a little bit of a stress. It wasn't. Oh, that's too loud, isn't it? That's way too loud. There we go. How's that? That's a bit better. Yeah, it wasn't even like technical difficulties or anything. It was just I looked at my page and I was like, oh, I yeah, I beat my I beat my Twitch goal. um, cool. So we've now got an actual class worth of people following, which is very cool. Very cool. You skip. Okay, we had this conversation yesterday. You are not meant to skip your classes. Don't do that. But you're already here, so I can't do anything about it, really, can I? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so also hit 100 subscribers on YouTube, which is wild. The algorithm has, like, the algorithm gods, they've just decided that today is the day that I am to be blessed, and therefore suddenly, like, 700 people have seen my debut video, which is terrifying because I thought maybe like 20 people would see it. So I'm crying internally every time I look at my analytics. It's honestly terrifying. Thank you so much for the follow, Talaran. Welcome in. But yeah, it's been pretty wild. What about sleeping through class? Yeah, I mean, I can't officially endorse it as a teacher, but sleep is very, very important for your development. So, depends on the class, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I must admit that I have once fallen asleep in a lecture, but that's because I was really ill and probably should not have gone to class. You just saw it now? Do you mean the stream? You just saw it now? Exciting. Hi, Jack. Slacking off work, I can accept a bit more. We love slacking off work. I might be slacking off work right now too. No, I don't have to work right now, but still. You couldn't imagine 100 people in a room, let alone 700. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So I've given lectures to a room of 300 people before, and that was stressful. Oh, you're heading off already, Jack. Oh, well. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, it's always lovely to see you. Have a good day. But yeah, I've given lectures to like 300 people in a room before, and it's kind of weird because like when there's that many people looking at you, you kind of forget that there's people looking at you, if that makes sense. Like there's so many faces in front of you that it kind of just stops being people. It just starts being a crowd. I don't know. It's very stressful, I think. Could you speak a bit slower? Honestly. That was even worse because that was a room of only like, I don't know, maybe 20 people. So it was a really small one, but like some of the people in the room were like world-class professors in the thing that I was giving a talk about, and I felt like really out of place. I felt so out of place. And yeah, it was a professor that kept asking me to slow down. So yeah, make of that what you will. I'm going to turn the music down from my end because it's far too loud and I can't hear myself think. And then I'm going to turn it up a bit for you. There you go. You should still be able to hear it now. There we go. I'm very smooth-brained. I can't apparently listen to music and also talk at the same time. Apparently that's a thing. Yeah, honestly, when it's like somebody that's really well known, it can be really stressful. It depends on how well you know them though. So like one of the people that I work with is considered like really, she like basically just famous. Like she's just a famous professor, which is kind of crazy. And she is the most down to earth and lovely person I've ever met. So I forget that she's like so famous. Like, yeah, no, she is straight up famous. She's like done documentaries and, given lectures to like the UN and stuff like that. So yeah, she's a pretty big deal, but then like she's so chill with me. I mean, she's just chill in general, to be honest, but she treats like students really, really well. So I kind of forget that she's a professor. But yeah, I kind of like it when they're like that. There was another one that I spoke to a little while ago who was also very famous. And yeah, that was a lot of the same. She was just very nice. And we loved it. I don't know, she was just lovely. That's good, that's good. We do love humble people. We do, we do. Although sometimes I'm like, you know that you're really good secretly, don't you? Like, how can we... I don't know. I don't know. Are you being humble? Are you being sneaky? Who knows? But the two that I just spoke about, they are genuinely just really lovely people. So yeah, that's nice. Unfortunately, there's some people who like knowing things kind of gets to their head a little bit, and then they get a bit a little bit unpleasant to work with. But for every unpleasant person, my experience is that there's like 20 that are really lovely. So yeah. Although I think it probably depends on where you're working. I've heard some things about other universities where I'm a bit like, oop, that doesn't sound fun. That doesn't sound fun. But I've been very lucky. I've only worked in places where they are just good. They're just nice. Yeah. Okay, so the goal of today's stream is that I want to talk to you about scientific publications. So now that I'm done waffling on about how cool famous professors are, throwing shade at other unis, honestly, we do throw shade at each other. It's not even me being weird. Like, it's just a thing. There's like universities that have massive rivalries. I guess in the UK, Oxford and Cambridge is probably a famous one. Like, they hate each other. It's crazy. I will like talk to people that have done degrees at either Oxford or Cambridge, and they just, yeah, I don't know, they still have it in their hearts. But I think it's more something if you've done like a bachelor's degree, then you have the rivalry, because when you're just working with people at other institutions, it's fine. But yeah, undergraduate students take things very seriously. I'd like to apologise if you hear my stomach grumble. I had some soup, but apparently it wasn't enough, and I'm still kind of hungry. But it's okay. It's okay, because I've got a presentation. It's not too long. We're going to do the presentation. We're going to learn about scientific publications. Go and eat? I don't want to. I've had soup. Maybe it just hasn't like souped up my stomach yet. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it. You know, like filled up my stomach, not souped up. Take a meal break. Thank you. But I don't need to. I'm good. I'm good. I had breakfast. I've had lunch. I'm having like, I'm probably going to have pasta for dinner. I don't know. That's not relevant to anything. But yeah, I've got pasta for dinner. But I need to have dinner kind of early today. So the reason why I'm doing this stream so early is because I'm actually going on holiday tomorrow. So I have to wake up super, super early. Like, I have to be at the airport for 4 a.m., which is when the airport opens. So that's nice. Well, yeah. So I don't know if there's actually going to be much going on at the airport. So I want to eat a proper meal like for dinner, but it's going to be like an early dinner, if that makes sense. I don't know. Eating habits aside. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about scientific publications. So I think scientific publications, I think they're the kind of thing that everybody's maybe vaguely aware of, but not everybody really knows what they are. I always see loads of news articles like cropping up in the science section that's like, a study has reported this. And where they get those findings from is normally from a journal article. Sometimes it will be from like a press release done by the team of researchers that led it, but overwhelmingly they come from studies. They come from these papers that have been published. And yeah, I want to walk you through the process of how scientists actually share their work with each other, because I think that could be fun. I don't know, maybe it isn't. Fun is probably not the word, actually, now I think about it. Well, it might be interesting. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Okay, so I need to work out how to bring up my presentation. So this means that it is currently the technical difficulties portion of the Psydere stream. Okay, right, presentation. Okay, my presentation is up. Is it going to work first time? Let's go. It worked. First time, first time. University flashbacks in reference to the studies and journals. Yeah, I think this will probably give you some quite hard whiplash back to your time at university, because this is definitely going to be that kind of a stream. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I have to do something a little bit cringe now. I'm so sorry. I have to record like the YouTube intro. So for anybody who's not been to my debut presentation that I did on stream, I hide the chat and actually I should also hide the overlay. Okay, cool. Right, so I hide the alerts and I hide the chat from the screen because we're going to make this into, I say we, it's literally me. This is a one-woman operation. I'm going to make it into a YouTube video. So yeah, I have to do like a YouTube intro. So I am so sorry if whatever I say comes across as cringe. I basically just have to start the stream again. That's it. That's it. Please bear with me. But then as I go through, it's just going to be normal. I'll just keep interacting with you. So I can still see the chat. I can also still see activity. So yeah, I'll try my best to keep on top of it. But sometimes when I get into lecture mode, I just go for it. Like I just talk and talk and talk and it will not stop. So yeah, feel free to, I don't know, tell me off if I'm just waffling and you're bored and you want me to move on to the next slide. Okay. So, yeah, I actually didn't think through how I'm going to start the YouTube video, so that's very cool. Oh, is this the hello fellow kids moment? Is this poggers? Is it very cool and poggers that I've managed to get things working? You're welcome to tell me off. I've given you permission. Never use that. Why? What does it mean? I thought it meant cool. I thought it meant like good. Oh no, I'm having a boomer moment again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna start using words so inappropriately. Like, yes, this presentation is very up good. No, it definitely means that, but it is a horrible term. Okay, I'll try not to. Oh dear. Honestly, like, I'm like the worst. I'm the worst example of like the internet is melting my brain, but I'm also not online enough for it to permanently melt my brain. So like I just pick up little snippets of things and then I'm like, oh, I think I know what this means. And then I don't, and it all goes horribly wrong. Okay, right. Anyway, what are we doing again? We're doing the presentation. Oh yeah. Wait, I'm going to shuffle this way a bit. If you can hear my chair, I'm sorry. I am in fact on a chair. And then I'm also going to shuffle this way a bit because I think that will make me in frame a bit better. Should I be bigger? What do we think? Should I take up more of the screen? Is this better? Is this better? Do you want more Psydere in your life? Is this a good amount? I'll go with yes. 12 people. Stop telling me how many people are here. I've got it turned off. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Hello, Just Lobster. Yay, I'm really glad that you've got time to watch. Okay, right. So, I guess I should very quickly say again for the people that have newly joined, I don't have my chat or my alerts up right now because I'm doing a presentation, but I can still see everything. So feel free to put things in chat and tell me off if I'm waffling on and ask your questions. I love questions. But yeah. Today, we're going to be talking about scientific publications. Exciting. We're going to make it exciting. It sounds boring, but we are making it exciting. Okay, right. So, what are scientific publications? So, scientific publications are just a way for scientists to talk about their research. Scientists need to tell each other about what they're doing. They need to share their findings with each other, right? Because science is really based on this concept of cumulative knowledge. We're trying to work with what each other has done and build off it. And we're doing that because it allows us to inch towards the truth, inch very closer towards what is happening. So it means that we are getting closer to how the world actually works. And this cumulative approach requires consistent communication. Yes, I'm glad that you can't wait to hear about scientific publications, Lenny. Morning, Tweety Verde. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, what? Where am I? Who am I? What's happening? These are philosophical questions. Philosophical. Blech. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Just Lolster. Thank you very much. Oh, no, I'm not going to do the subscribe thing. That's cringe. I can't bring myself to do it. Like, hey, guys! Oh, no. Actually, wait. No, okay. Okay. No, I need to... okay. I have been told that I can do a decent, like, Sid Snap impression of her introduction. And I think that I might... I don't know. Maybe you can all get to hear it if I ever hit 50 followers. I'll just steal it. Who's Sid Snap? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Don't look her up. Don't do it. Especially if you're under 18, don't look her up. Okay, right. So, scientific communication. Let's get back to that. No, don't look her up. Don't do it. Okay, right. Back to the presentation. So, there's basically 3 main ways that we communicate our science with each other as scientists. There's peer-reviewed articles, there are conferences and the proceedings that are published after conferences, and then there's also a few less formal methods which I've kind of grouped together into one umbrella. So we're going to be going through all of those 3 different types, and I hope that I can teach you a little bit about them. Yeah, do take my word for it, don't look her up. I'm serious. This is going to be really weird because I'm going to be doing my formal, like, presenting voice, and then I'm going to be looking at chat and just saying the most unhinged nonsense. Like, I have to edit this. This is going to be so strange to edit. Okay, right. Okay, so first, journal articles. So, what is a journal article? Oh, wait, I didn't put a slide about what a journal article is. This is going well. Okay. Okay, let's go back. Okay, right. Taking a break from university to assist in online anime university. Excellent. We love that. Although don't skip your classes because I'll be sad. I'm a teacher. Okay, right. Seriously though. Please. I'm saying this seriously and on the record. Do not skip your classes. I have been a teacher for a while now, and I have had so many times where I'm giving a class and people do not turn up. Like, I literally gave a seminar like a few weeks ago, and there was meant to be 14 people, and nobody came. So, and it's not a good vibe. It feels very sad, you know? So do not skip your classes. Okay, I know that I might have skipped classes when I was at university, but do what I say, not what I do. Listen to me, I'm a teacher. Don't copy me. We do appreciate the observational learning most of the time, but not in relation to this, okay? Right. Definitely not scuffed. Yeah, no, it is scuffed, it's fine, I'm doing my best. Okay, right. So, journal articles. What is a journal article? A journal article is basically just a fancy magazine. It's an article in a fancy magazine for scientists. That's it. That's all they are. Most of them aren't even like printed anymore. They're just online. So it's literally just a website. But some of them are. Some of them you can still get delivered for a rather expensive amount of money. Let's just say they tend to be in the hundreds for a regular issue, which is not good. But yeah, so that is basically what they are. They're just a fancy magazine. That's all. So the process. So if you wanted to publish your... Wait, I'm too big. It's like a magazine for scientists. Yes, it is like a magazine for scientists. Thank you, chat, for clarifying. It is, in fact, a magazine for scientists. Okay, I'm trying to think of a better description because that is terrible. And I thought I put in a slide like describing what they are. Wait, did I put it in the wrong place? No, I didn't. I just didn't put one in. Okay, that's understandable. Okay, right. I can't think of anything else. They're just a magazine for scientists. That's literally all they are. They're just overpriced bits of paper. Where we publish our research. Like that's it. Okay, so let's move on. It's fairly easy to understand. Okay, good. Okay. How can I position myself so that I'm not in the way? Maybe if I just shrink myself down. There we go. Tiny Psydere. Okay. Right. So let's think about the process of getting your research published in a journal. So you finish your research. That's cool. Good stuff. Well done. So the standard practice that you would do after you have done your research is to write a report. So you want to sit down and type up everything that you have done. You want to write the reason why you've done your research. You want to write about, if you're working with humans, you want to write about who's taken part in your study. If you're not working with humans, then you want to talk about what materials you've sampled, like their properties, or you want to talk about, I don't know, the way that you took pictures of the sky if you're doing telescopes. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an astronomer. I don't know what they do. If you're not working with humans, yeah, no, some people. So okay, psychology of cows. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so you've written your report. You've described. Wait, no, did I finish what I was saying? I don't think I did. This is so scuffed. Right, okay, let's start again. So, you want to publish your research in a journal. Cool, amazing. So, first thing you need to do is finish your research. You can't go away and publish unfinished research, although that is starting to change. Maybe we'll do another session about registered reports at some time. And then you want to write up a report. So in your report, you want to explain why you did your research. You want to explain how you did your research. So what you sampled. If it's people, you want to describe the people that you sampled. So, you know, who took part in your study. If not, you want to describe things like chemical properties of the materials that you were working with. You want to describe the methods that you used. So that is the way that you ran your study. So how exactly you did it, things like equipment that you used, or if you used questionnaires, then you want to put in about the questionnaires, kind of give references to where you found them, things like that. And then you want to write up about your results. So ideally, you need to write what your results are in terms of your statistical analyses that you ran on your data set. And then you want to also write about what that actually means in relation to your hypothesis. We're going to get back to that in a second. There's lots of big words here. That's okay. If you don't know what the words mean, that's fine. We're coming back to it in a minute. So, you've got your report. Amazing. What are you doing with it now? You are submitting it to a journal. So, journals just basically are fancy web portals these days. You just sit there and you type in, you know, here is my name, here is my university affiliation, here is my manuscript in the form of a Word document or a PDF or something like that. Fancy sciences use LaTeX, but we don't do that because we're not tech savvy enough, as is evidenced by how scuffed my streams are. And then if the editor looks at it and thinks like, yes, this article fits in our journal well, so it fits the topic, it matches the theme, it uses the right methodology, it gets sent out for peer review. And we're going to talk about peer review a bit in a second. After it's been peer reviewed, the article is either accepted or rejected, or sometimes they will accept with like amendments, so you have to make a few changes. And if it's accepted in any way and you've made the changes and they're approved, congratulations, your article is now queued for publication. Woo, we love that. Okay. Oh, do you like my clouds? I made it myself. Oh, I should have been doing it in the tiny Psydere voice, I think. No, that would have been awful. That would have been awful. Oh, Can you imagine if I did that entire bit in like a tiny squeaky voice? That'd be awful. Okay, right. We're getting back to the actual stuff that I've got notes on now, which is good. Okay. Where is the bit about waiting 8 months and 2 years to be published? Yes, this is true. This is very true. This is a big part of the experience. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've just had a manuscript accepted. And let me move myself again. My manuscript, I think it's provisionally accepted, which means that the editors are going to take it away and check it with the board of editors at the journal. So all of the big fancy editors are going to look at it, and then they're going to look at it and say like, yeah, this is cool. And then they're going to come back to us, and then we have to submit an adjusted version in March. And then I think it's due for final publication in like December 2024 or something like that. Maybe even March 2025. That's ringing a bell. So congratulations. Thank you. It's very cool. It's one that we've been sitting on for a while. It's a bit weird. We've got we have like a preprint. So I'll be talking a bit more about preprints later on. But it's been sat on a preprint server for a very long time. And people like it, but we have not got it published yet, just because there were some things we needed to change. And it looks like it's finally getting published in like a year. Yay! Yeah, it's going to take a while. It does take a while. It's painful. It's painful. Okay. Right, okay. Peer review. So, peer review is a really key concept that you need to understand when we're talking about any kind of scientific publication. And that's because the vast majority of scientific research is peer-reviewed eventually. This includes journal articles overwhelmingly, but also some conferences. So, peer review. Wait, no, what? My brain. Okay, right. Yes, they are. Scientific communication is generally considered more prestigious if they are peer-reviewed. Yes, it is. Yes. Okay, cool. Yes. So, peer-reviewed articles are normally considered more prestigious just because it means that they've had their validity and quality checked. So it means another scientist, or often it's multiple, so it might be 2 or 3, they've gone through your work and they've had a look at it and they've gone, yeah, this is all right. This is pretty good. This is worth publishing. And that means a lot. That means a lot for science, but also it's kind of weird. It's just a norm that we've established, really. There's other ways to check for quality and validity, but this is the way that we've decided to do it. The person that reviews your manuscript would generally be an expert in the topic or with the methodology that you used in your research. So in theory, they should know what they are talking about when they review it. And the kind of main goal is to identify errors in the work. So, for example, if you've kind of used a conceptual paradigm that doesn't match the research, so the theory that you're using doesn't actually fit with what you're doing. Statistical errors, so, just your numbers are slightly wrong somewhere, or you've misinterpreted them somehow. And then coding errors is increasingly becoming a thing too. It's not as much of a thing in the psychology that I do, but there are some very heavily computational fields of psychology where your coding errors can cause big problems. I'm sure that there are there are definitely like software engineers, people like that who know way more about coding errors than I do. I really can't comment on it. I do a little bit of analysis in R and that's it. So I can't comment on it too much. I've never found an error. I just struggle with my own. It's so painful. I love it when I'm like doing an analysis and then I'm just suffering through the same thing for like 3 days. And then I found out actually it's because I've made a typo. Feels good. Okay. Right. Oh, there's more peer review. You know, I made these slides this morning and I've already forgotten them. That says a lot about me. Also, I'm going to have some tea. I've got like this green tea that's got roasted rice in it today, apparently. I don't know why. I found it in the cupboard and I was like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's go with that. Okay, right. So, peer review. Peer review does help with checking the validity and quality of scientific work, but ultimately it relies on people. And whenever there's people involved, there's potential for bias. There's been quite a few studies, kind of meta-science studies, that have shown that if you look... Actually, should I be talking about research that I haven't cited? Probably not. Probably not. So, for example, if you're a scientist, you might think to yourself, oh, these universities are really prestigious, whereas you might look at another university and be like, I've never heard of it. And that in itself could bias how you think about a paper that has been submitted for review, because you could think, well, the prestigious paper, or the paper that has come from a prestigious university, yeah, that's good. That must be good. It must be good research. I know they do good research. Whereas if you're looking at a paper from a research institute that you've never heard of before, then you might think, well, I've never heard of them, so they can't be that good. Sounds fancy. Yeah, it is pretty nice, actually, the tea. Okay, I was just testing then whether I actually have to mute my mic in order to not be, like, making disgusting ASMR noises, and I don't think it made a noise. So that's good. That's good. We like that. I don't want to be turning this into a strange ASMR stream. Oh no. We love ASMR. I don't. It's really upsetting. I'm one of those people that if I hear like eating noises, I get very no. Like every time that I go to like a Japanese restaurant and there's people slurping, I'm like, make it stop. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, it didn't make a noise. Good. Same. Oh, I'm glad it's not just me. Honestly, I know that there's like a whole group of people that are just really freaked out by eating noises. I'm not super bad with it, but I don't know. There's specific like eating and drinking noises, and it's normally like gulp and slurp noises that they are upsetting. I'm glad it's understandable. I'm glad it's not just me. Maybe not eating or drinking ASMR, those suck. Yeah, I'm not a fan. The ones, any kind of like mouth noise, I think is just, no. Not for me. Ugh. Oh. I'm actually just like a bit on edge just thinking about it. It's kind of nasty. But yeah. Anyway, peer review. Okay. So, to try and overcome the biases that can arise from peer review, we use varying levels of anonymity, and these different levels of anonymity. Oh my gosh, I can't say words. Anonymity. These various levels of No, it's not happening. You know what? I'm just gonna not say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna point. So single. Oh, thank you for the follow. Is it Stickasse or Stickcase? I don't know. I don't want to say it wrong. See, I would go with Stickasse, but that's because I am an actual raging weeb and I've got like a certificate in basic Japanese. Okay, right. So there are multiple different types of an. Oh, okay, I actually can't say that word. This is really embarrassing. This is a word that I use on a daily basis. I say it in my head all the time. When I try and get it out, it's just like blah, 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 blah. Okay, right. Single anonymized. Yes, we did it. Yes. I'm just going to say blind. It means the same. Oh, it's a pun on enzyme terminology, so it's Stickase. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah, no, my weeb brain kicked in. So I read it as Stickasse. No, but it's Stickase. Wonderful. We love that. If it's an enzyme, then it'll be A's, right? Because it's like, I can't think of a single enzyme now. Amylase. There we go. That's an enzyme. Yes. I don't know what it does, but I recognize it from my high school biology lessons. We love puns. We love puns. We love academic puns. That's very good. Okay, right. So, single blind reviews are when the identity of the reviewer is hidden from the author. So, you will receive a manuscript to be reviewed, and you know who's written it, but they don't know who is reviewing it. And that's the way it's been done for a really, really long time. But then we realised, hang on, if we're seeing who has written the paper, then there is the chance for that bias to creep in there. So, a lot of journals then started doing double-blind reviews. So that's where neither the reviewer or the author know who the other one is. So that means I will submit a paper, I don't know who's reviewing it, and they don't know who I am. They don't know who's written it. Now, an alternative type of peer review is transparent peer review, where everything is shared publicly. Normally, it would be double-blind to start with, and then everything is released at the end. So everybody knows who was involved. And that's starting to become slightly more common, but it's not super common in psychology yet. Amylase is met in the... I'm not good at words. I don't know what those words are. Something to do with enzymes. Yes. I trust you. I know nothing about biology. Where's Phi when we need him? Thank you for the follow, Danny. Thank you. I've got my alerts turned off at the minute, so yeah, but I want to make sure everybody gets a shout out. Danny Lou was taken. And thank you for the follow, Miguelcraft. Is that it? Miguelcraft? Like Miguel? Minecraft? Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much for the follows. You had a test about... Oh, that's what your test was about. Okay. It was... Well, I hope you're not wrong then. That would be not ideal. I'm going to trust you because you've been revising it. So, yeah. It's a cringy name you made 12 years ago. That's a mood, to be fair. I think, yeah, no, that's a mood. I think everybody had cringy names when they were younger. Yeah, no, mine, I had like a really awful, like really, when I say awful, I mean like by today's standards, it would be super generic. Like, what was it? It was like I can't remember if it was like Pokemon or Digimon or a combination of the two. But yeah, I had a really cringy name when I was, we don't talk about it anymore. Thankfully, I'm now old and I've wiped most of my previous history from the internet, so we don't think about it anymore. Amylase changes starch into sugar when you chew. It's in your saliva. Okay. In my mind, I was like, amylase has something to do with bread. And I'm glad that I wasn't just making that up, because that could have just been me spreading misinformation. So I stopped myself from saying it. But I think it does have something to do with bread. Because I remember now, when I was in school, the way that we tested it was that we had like amylase in a solution and then we put bread in it. So I am not losing my mind. That's excellent. Is it in the pancreas as well? Oh, someone needs to Google that now. We need to find out. Okay, but anyway, if you want to talk about amylase and if you want to do research on it, you should get your stuff peer reviewed. Yes. Very cool. Something to do with lipids. Oh, okay. I feel like I should know more biology, but I really don't know any. I haven't done, aside from like brain stuff, I haven't done any biology since I was like 18. So yeah, it's been a long time. More time than I'd like to admit. Oh no. Okay, right. We can move on now, I think. Yes, we can. Cool. So, peer review. So, even though we've got these methods of peer review, that doesn't guarantee that the article that goes through peer review is going to end up being a good one. Something might get approved after peer review and still have really serious errors. There's a whole bunch of reasons for this. First of all, scientists are super busy, especially the ones that work in universities. They do not have much time at all. They are having to churn out research. We have this thing that we call publish or perish culture, where we basically just have to get out as many publications as possible to further our career. Our careers are very much centered around like how much we publish and how much we share our research. that's normally the main thing that's used to decide whether or not you get promoted. For early career researchers like me, it's the determining factor of whether or not I'll get like a postdoc job, or if I could end up being a lecturer. So it's like that and then grant money. Those are the two main things. But that means that scientists might not have the time to go through and check everything that they need to. So, for example, a really common issue is that some scientists will send their work for peer review and they'll include a data set with it. They will go through and they will look at the article and they will just assume that what's in the article will match up with what's in the data set. But if they open up the data set and have a look at the statistical outputs and see how it's been analysed, they might notice some things wrong with it. There's also the other issue is that sometimes the reviewers don't have the methodological expertise to check all aspects of the paper, and in psychology that's particularly an issue with computer code. There can be people that are doing, for example, computational modelling of how we do, I don't know. What's an example? What are we thinking? What should we model? This is your chance to contribute an idea to a Psydere video. Oh, remember when Andrew Wakefield managed to publish a paper linking vaccinations and autism to in the Lancet, and it caused a scandal, but it was retracted, and then anti-vaxxers still stand by it to this day? Yeah. My actual research area is quite it lends itself very well, unfortunately, to knowing a lot about the Wakefield scandal. I'll just put it that way. It's a thing. It's wild. They took so long to retract it as well. If I remember correctly, the article was published in like 1998, and then it took until the mid 2000s to retract it, even though it had been very thoroughly debunked. And, you know, it got so much press coverage, and he was allowed to keep going around and doing tours and like spreading the ideas. Eventually he got struck off from the General Medical Council, so he wasn't allowed to practice as a doctor anymore. But sometimes there are like independent research institutes that are a little bit sus. And I think he ended up being linked to one of those, so he was still able to keep doing this really bad research. The original paper was really bad as well. It was so the original Wakefield study was basically looking at he got a group of like, I can't remember if it was 5 or 20, but somewhere in that range, 5 to 20 like autistic boys, I think. But then was like seeing whether they had been vaccinated, and then asking people about how that linked to their autism, like when their autism started being like obvious, I guess, like when the parents started noticing the signs. And yeah, it was really bad. Like most of the funniest thing about that paper to me, not funny in a bad way, is that the majority of the participants were recruited through like a birthday party. I can't remember if it was like a birthday party that was like either one of Wakefield's children or like a friend of Wakefield's children or something. But yeah, it's wild. The whole thing is wild. There's some really good documentaries on it, so definitely recommend checking those out. But that's a really good example of how errors and bad practices can appear in the scientific record. But yeah, sometimes peer reviewers just don't have the methodological expertise, and that's especially a problem in psychology when it comes to things like computer code, because we might know all about say for example, the social phenomenon that's being studied, but we don't understand the code that's simulating it. Well, then how can we really look at it and say like, yes, this is a good paper? We understand the conceptual side of it, but not how it's actually been implemented. And if there's big chunks missing like that, it can be really difficult to do a thorough peer review. But all of these issues do mean that sometimes errors and bad research practices, and sometimes even fraud, can appear in the scientific record. There's been quite a few high-profile cases where somebody was just lying. They just made up their data, or they were changing their data, and then they got it published as though it was actual research. It's kind of wild. Oh, I've got so many examples, but some of them might get me in a lawsuit, so yeah, I won't. I guess probably the common example is Diederik Stapel. but I don't have him on my PowerPoint, so I can't show you him right now. But I will, maybe we'll come back to that. Someone remind me, when I'm done with the presentation, someone remind me to come back to Diedrich Stapel, because that whole thing is wild. We don't want Psydere to go to jail. Yeah, I'd rather not, to be honest. I would really rather not go to jail. That would not be good. Okay, right. Tea break very quickly. Okay, so to really help you understand how articles work, I'm going to go through this example paper and highlight the key sections that you would find in a kind of standard psychology paper. I have not chosen this one for any specific reason other than the fact that it has the word anime in it. That's literally it. It talks about anime fans, and that is why I chose it. I thought that was funny. We're going with it. I can't comment on the quality of this research because I have not read it. But you know, I went through it very quickly, and it had all of the key sections, and it is partially about anime fans, and it's in a good journal. So I thought, why not? That's a good example. Oh, lawsuits don't send people to jail. They just put them in debt they will never get out of. That is very true. That is very true. Yes, yes, yes. Well, my funding has run out, so I don't actually have much of an income at the minute, aside from my teaching and from my other stuff. So yeah, I don't know what they would take from me. Like, what are you gonna take? My no, there's nothing they could take really. I'd be paying it off until I was 80. Hi, Lord to Basil. Hello, welcome, welcome. I am in my presentation mode at the minute, so chat is not on screen. But you know, we'll come back to that at some point when I go back to my just chatting page. Right now, we're trying to get through this presentation, but I keep getting derailed again, as always. Try and stay on topic challenge. I can't do it. I fail. They would take the VTuber model. I think I licensed this one as like Creative Commons, so they can take it anyway. Also, it's like okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is literally like the default like Vroid Studio one, but then like I made a few tweaks to the eyes and the hair, and that was it. Like I've really not done much to it, so I guess they would come after the Vroid Studio people instead. Maybe Psydere would still be fine. Who knows? Maybe we're all good. Maybe the model does not get taken. Anyway, I can't be getting a lawsuit because yeah, I need a better model, so I need to save up for that. And they're not allowed to take my model fund. Otherwise, we'll all tell them off. We call that judgment proof. Try to stay on topic challenge. 99% will fail. Gone wrong. It's not even 99% will fail. Most people can give a lecture without going on strange tangents. It's just me. Like I can't do it. Hi Zectros, welcome, welcome. I'm doing a presentation at the minute, so chat is not on screen, but I can see you. Welcome, thank you for joining us. Okay, right, what was I saying? Articles. Did I tell you about this yet? I think I did. I think I did. I should name it though. I should name it. Wait, Andrew Take. Is this Take? Or Tagwa? I think Take. And then Stephen Ryson, and then Courtney Plant. Okay. I'm gonna try. You know what? Actually, I'm not even gonna read it out. I'm not gonna read it out. They can just. I hope I put this in the references. Oh dear. I think I might have forgotten. Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. Those are some names. Yeah, they are some names. Oh, you saw the YouTube video? Oh, yay! We've got a YouTube joiner. Yeah, honestly, I was like, I'm really happy that people like have found it something. They found it interesting or fun or something. Because I was really nervous when I uploaded that. Because like so everyone who was here for the actual debut stream knows that it was totally scuffed. I think the video came out looking kind of professional. But yeah, the streaming is always scuffed. I'm not good at it. Okay, right. Let's do this. Right. Andrew and colleagues, we're not going to go through it. I think I already said about this, so I'll just dub over it if I need to in the video. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, right. So, actually, I haven't said about the titles and things. Andrew and friends. Andrew and chat. Okay, right. So, the title of this paper is Belongingness as a Mediator of the Relationship Between Felt Stigma and Identification in Fans. I chose it because it talks about anime fans. That's it. The article came out in 2019. It was published by Andrew Tague and colleagues in the Journal for Social Psychology. I won't be talking about all of the title and what the numbers in the top left corner mean and all of that stuff because it's just a way of identifying the journal, to be honest. The important bits that you would be interested in reading are the actual sections in the paper. Andrew and besties, yeah, we love that. Okay, right. So normally the first thing that you'll see in any paper is the abstract, which is just a short 150 to 250 word overview of the whole paper. It's normally going to be plonked right on the first page alongside the title and the names and keywords, and all of that is meant to help you go through the paper very quickly, just open it up, read the abstract very, very quickly, and understand whether it's relevant to what you need. So it looks like in this abstract, they're summarising what they're doing in the study, they're summarising the findings, and then they've got a sentence saying what this means for the wider research area. And that's a pretty standard recipe that you will see in most abstracts. So you can really get a solid sense of what the paper is about and its contents just by very briefly skimming this. However, do not rely on it. Most of the detail is not there. Yes, that's a really good point. Stick-A's. My brain is still telling me stick-assay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Really good point, Stick-A's. Abstracts are always free, but you may or may not have to pay for the full paper depending on the publisher. Absolutely. Abstract is always free. You will be able to read it. Normally, yeah, it kind of depends. Some journals, they will just publish everything openly, so they call that open access, and it's free. So in those cases, the authors pay a charge. When I say the authors, normally it's their university actually pays the charge, but sometimes it is the authors, unfortunately. It depends on how much funding they've got. Whereas with traditional journal articles, they might pay a smaller P? Oh dear, no. They might pay... No. They might... Oh god, I've started laughing now. Okay, we can do this. Deep breath. We do love open access. Yes, we do. We love open access. I don't understand why more journals haven't moved to it yet. So in traditional closed access journals, they will pay... Oh my gosh. What is going on? I can't speak. I'm saying what is going on. I'm always like this. I can never speak. Like, if I'm just waffling about anime, I'm completely fine. If I am, like, talking about anything serious, my ability to use words, it just goes. It just goes. Thank you for the follow, Zectros. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying the stream. This absolute mess that is me trying to explain anything. Okay. Right. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. This is going well. Because money, yeah, to be honest, that is the main thing that journal people think about. Publishers, they want the money. They can charge. Oh yeah, that was what I was saying. Okay, right. So traditional closed access models for publications, normally the authors will pay a small fee. However, you will then pay a fee to access it. So it will be put on their website behind a paywall and you've got to pay to get into it. If you're lucky, if you're affiliated with a university, they will have a subscription. They will have a subscription even. And that will let you get into the article via your university. However, if you are not affiliated with a university, if you're just an independent person vibing, you just want to read the paper, you're going to have to pay, and it's normally quite expensive. It could be, I think the most expensive one I've seen was like $100. Normally for psychology journals, they're in the kind of like 30 to 50 range. So they're kind of expensive. Also, I think the abstracts are also always in English. At least that's the policy of my university. Okay. I think that from what I've seen, there's often a abstract. If it's not published in English, there's often an abstract in another language too. So, for example, I know someone that's published in German, and then the abstract is in English, and then it's also in German as well. And then that's the case with a lot of grant applications as well. So I know for a fact that the Dutch funding agency, you submit the abstract in both Dutch and English, and then the rest of the application can be in either Dutch or English, because everybody in the Netherlands speaks better English than I do. So that's great. Thank you for the follow, Luna. Thank you. Lovely to see you here. I hope you're enjoying the stream. 100 for what? The Krabby Patty formula. Honestly, I would pay 100 for the Krabby Patty formula, but no, it's like 100 for like, we have found this tiny effect size in a massive data set that we think is mildly interesting, and that's it. Unfortunately, that is it. But yeah, that's the abstract. That's a trade secret. It won't be published at all. True. Although I swear I remember one episode of SpongeBob where they were telling Plankton that the secret recipe was like plankton, basically. I don't know if I'm hallucinating this. This might have been a thing that I've just made up, but I swear that was a thing. There was like a whole episode about Plankton finally getting the Krabby Patty formula, and then it turned out that the secret ingredient was plankton, and then he like freaked out and ran away, and then at the end, Mr. Krabs was like, tee hee, I trolled him. If this isn't a SpongeBob episode, it should be. There you go. Free content for them. Yeah, wait, what? Yeah, I swear this is a thing. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just making it up. I can't say I'm particularly deep into SpongeBob lore, so yeah, I'm probably just making this up. How is the price of the paper determined? It's just basically whatever the company feels like. Stick Ace says publish agreed, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it is just publish agreed. Yeah. Yep. I went to a really interesting panel at a conference over summer where it was there were some people presenting about issues in it was like a specific area of research, and they were talking about, look, this is how much the amount of publications has gone up since 2000, and it has literally like gone up by like a factor of 10 or more. It might have even been like 14 or something. It was like just up. It was like one of the most impressive like straight up curves that I have ever seen. And they were saying how a big part of the issue is actually these new open access publishers who have decided, okay, you can publish your work openly and we'll do like a quick peer review on it. But yeah, we're going to charge these massive fees, and then we'll just publish anything that passes through peer review. So before, journals were like quite selective. They would say, okay, we've got room for, say, for example, 20 articles in this in this issue, and we can accept only that, and that's it. But since things have moved online and we've got this open access model, it's gone a bit wild. But then in this panel, they presented this data, and it was really interesting because there was actually like employees from a publisher there, and they were saying like, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but no, it's actually cool. Like we're not trying to be greedy. We're just trying to share knowledge. And it was like, wow, I don't know. It felt a bit like, I think like the people working on the ground, because they were like actual editors or something, or like I think one of them was like a marketing person. They're on the ground and they're actually doing work, and they want to feel like they're doing something meaningful, right? I'm not sure that the higher ups think the same way. The people that actually make the decisions. I'm right. The formula was plankton. We'll never be able to look at SpongeBob in the same way. He was committing murder the whole time. That's why there's That's why there's only one plankton. Plankton is meant to be like a colony species, right? They vibe in massive amounts, but it's just plankton on his own. It's because Mr. Krabs has killed all of them for the Krabby Patty formula. That's wild. Oh no. I've discovered SpongeBob lore. I don't know what I don't know what to yeah. I can't process this. This is terrible. Oh, the formula was fake. Oh, okay. Understandable. I have fallen for the misinformation. This is so sad. That was me drinking my tea, if you wondered why I looked like I was headbanging or something. I like the theory that the secret ingredient is actually crab. I don't like that. But then, okay, the weirdest thing in SpongeBob for me, there's a lot of stuff in SpongeBob that's weird, but like the weirdest thing for me was like the fact that Mr. like Mr. Krabs' daughter is like a whale, but then she's really small. So surely she's not a whale. Like, I know that she's like big in terms of the other characters, but in terms of being an actual whale, she's tiny. So it doesn't add up. I don't know. Metal concert. Yeah. Is that the bit in the movie? That's always been my favourite bit. It's a cartoon. Yeah, I know, but I don't know. Maybe I just overthink things. That's probably this whole channel. Like, this whole channel, this whole, like, it's still a channel on Twitch, right? It's just me overthinking things. Like, I just overthink things, and that's how I got so far in education, I think. Maybe that's me overthinking my thinking. I don't know. Maybe she's still growing. Maybe. Although, they come out pretty big. You're here for it, I'm glad. I feel, honestly, I don't know why you lot put up with me. This is wild. Okay. Right, so back to the presentation. So I need to wrap up within an hour actually, because I need to get ready to go on my adventure to I'm not going anywhere exciting, I'm just going to London. I'm just going home for a few days. But yeah. Okay, right, so introduction section. So the yay adventure. I know, it's exciting. I've actually not been there in ages, so no shanking. No. We're not all like that. Not all Londoners are like that. Okay, right. Introduction. So, the introduction section is what's shanking? Oh no, he doesn't know. Talon doesn't know. Talarin doesn't know. Yeah, it's just stabbing. Yeah, that's basically it. It's just like London slang for like stabbing someone. It's You've only been there for one day. Good, keep it like that. You don't want to go for longer. Okay, right. I know that the rules say like no hating, but British hate is fine. I officially endorse British hating. Like, it's fine. You can rip into British people as much as you want in my chat. It's fine. I endorse it. I actively encourage it. Oi, bruv, you want to get shanked, innit? Nah, bruv. Oh. Next thing you know, you're all going to make me start saying Tuesday. Tuesday? Okay, right. Oh, you're going to get shanked. Yeah, bruv. I don't know. Maybe we should do Roadman Psydere at some point. No, let's not. Let's not do that. Let's not do Roadman Psydere. Thank you for the follow, that Mako. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying the stream. The strange flip-flop between science and then British slang. Yes. Can I start doing drill? Absolutely not. Wait, did I say in it in the last stream? Oh my gosh. It slips out sometimes. I grew up in like in the general London area. So I do naturally talk like that. And I know it comes out a little bit sometimes, but like being at university has made me sound really posh. So when I go home, everyone's like, you speak really posh. And then when I go to universities, they're like, oh my gosh, you've got such a working class accent. And I'm like, I don't have either anymore, but you know, it is what it is. But no, I'm not going to start doing drill. That would be terrible. That would actually be awful. Can you imagine a karaoke stream where we just do drill and grime and nothing else? No, we're not doing that. Yeah, I know. So someone has actually said that to me, that I had a working class accent. Like, that's a direct quote. Yeah, it's painful. It's painful. Actually, when I first went to university, I was in a seminar, and then Okay, this won't make any sense unless you know the song, but do you know the song Park Life by Blur? Where they're like saying big words. They'll be like, I don't know, they'll just say a bunch of big words and then they go Park Life. But I read out from a paper in a seminar and then someone in the back of the class went Park Life in the back and I was like, are you for real? For real? Stop it. Drill rap would be awesome. Just do it about psychology. No, I can't. Have you heard how fluent I am when I speak? I can't rap. I can't even speak. That would be terrible. Karaoke stream with Heady One and Digger D. No. Next up, the unarchived karaoke where you enthrall us with your posh British singing and slip in a KSI song. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing a British themed karaoke stream. This is not a wait, maybe it should be. There's clear demand. I don't know. Maybe. If there's ever a celebration at some point, then yeah, we'll do it. But that's not a promise. That's just a maybe, okay? And we'll do Park Life too. It depends. I don't know. It depends on what the Twitch... I don't know anything about the terms of service for karaoke. I haven't looked into it. I'm sure it'd be fine, but still, I don't want to risk getting my channel terminated. No, you're not taking my word on it. It was just... No. Maybe. It's a maybe. No, it's a maybe. It's a maybe. Okay, right. I need to quickly distract you, so let's go back to the introduction. So, the introduction... Oh, I forgot to turn off... Okay. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Has it been vibrating this whole time? Because I'm getting... So, yeah, so I've had a bit of a stressful time where the YouTube gods have, like, blessed me. The algorithm gods, they're like, yes. And I keep getting emails saying that somebody's commented on my video and it's very stressful. You couldn't hear it. Okay, good. Okay. How many follows for this maybe? No. I actually can't sing. I'm really bad. And I also can't rap. No karaoke stream. Okay, moving on. Introduction section. So... The introduction section of a paper just summarises all of the previous research on a topic. So you're trying to tell the story of why you're researching this thing, and you're trying to explain how your research is new and important. And you're also going to try and get across your study's aims and hypotheses. So a hypothesis is just a statement which specifies the relationship that you're testing. So, for example... Oh, I haven't put the aims. Oh, well... So, for example, in the paper that we're looking at here, what was it again? I've forgotten their names. Oh, no. What was their names? Oh, yeah, Tague. So, in this Tague and colleagues paper... Colleagues has a G in it. Okay. In this Tague and colleagues... In this Tague colleagues paper, no, I keep laughing. This is going terribly. This is not good content, is it? This is terrible, shameful. In this paper by Tague and colleagues, they talk about how fan groups can feel stigmatized. So, for example, anime fans. Yeah, anime fans, bronies, and furries, apparently all in the same category. Oh, you've got to head off now. Thank you for joining us, Mig. Do you want me, like, is it Migwa? I'm just going to go with that, but yeah, Migwa. I'm going to call you that now because I can't say Migwa Craft every time. No, please? Okay. I don't know what to call you. What would you prefer me to call you? Tell me. But yeah, definitely go to class and yeah, Miguel. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Cool. Go enjoy your class, and yeah, it would be amazing if you catch up with the rest on YouTube. It will be a lot more boring though, because it's not chaotic. The live is where the chaos happens. But thank you for joining us. You too. Have a good day. Okay, right. So they've put us in the same boat as bronies and furries. There's nothing else I can say about that, really, is there? Thank you for the follow, Niemand. Is it Niemand? Niemand? Thank you for the follow. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Oh, we've hit the follower goal. What? Oh my gosh. I don't, I, oh, why? Why? 50 of you? That's wild. I can't process this. Oh, it's so underwhelming that this was during the presentation. I didn't have my thing on. No karaoke. Stop. We're not doing karaoke. Stop. We're not doing that. Okay, we'll come back to the goal afterwards. Don't let me forget. So we're doing Diedrich Starple and follow a goal. Okay. I need to really speed up actually because I need to be done. Okay. Right, let's go. We can do it. So, Central C collab. No! Stop. I had to just take a moment to just process. Sorry, I had to take a moment to process the follower goal because that's really exciting and I'm trying to control myself. Okay, right. So, method section. So the next part in any paper is going to be the method section. It describes the sample, so who took part, the procedure, what you did in your research, and then any measures or stimuli that you've used. So how you have done your research. And as a scientist, I would look at the method section if I want to replicate the study and if I want to understand what they've done. So it needs to be decently detailed. So in this example, they've included things like how many people took part, the gender breakdown, the age breakdown, and then whether they were students or not, and their ethnic categories, and then also what fan interest groups that they were part of. So how many anime fans were there? Oh, there's no specific anime fans. That's rude. Okay. These are just generic. I searched this paper and I was like, there's anime in this, and then there isn't, and now I'm sad. Now I'm sad. Oh, sad. Okay, right. Results. After you've detailed your method, there's going to be a results section. So the results section describes what the statistics tell us about our hypotheses. So remember, the hypotheses are the statements which explain... No, they're not. They're statements which specify what relationship we're testing. So in your results section, you want to say what those relationships were expected to be and then what they actually are. Now, the results section can have a lot of statistics and numbers in it. It is normally the most technical part of the paper. It's also the part of the paper that I hate the most because there's too many numbers. But good papers will try and visualize these numbers into diagrams. So an example here is they've got this really complicated model. This is a mediation model. It's doing all kinds of wacky stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here because I'd have to sit down and actually look at it. But yeah, it visualizes it. So you can kind of have some degree of understanding of what's happening. So for example, we've got the felt stigma, we've got meaning, and then we've got fandom. So from this, we can roughly work out that there is some kind of positive relationship between feelings of stigma and meaning that they attach to something. And then there is no relationship between meaning and the fandom that they're in. So you can kind of roughly work it out. If you've actually read the method section, you'd know what all of those words mean. I didn't read the method section because I have not got time for that. That is effort. I am tired. Okay. You got scammed? What's the scam? What's the scam? Is there a scam? Did I do some scamming? Oh yeah, in the paper, because there's no anime. Yeah, you're right. No, it made me really sad. I thought that there was actually going to be anime stuff in here. I think they mentioned it quite a few times as well. So yeah, I was disappointed. We are yet to breach the biggest and coolest psychology journals, apparently, but we'll get there eventually. We'll get into the big journals at some point. Are you late for class, Nuzan? You know what? A little bit, but it's okay because this is going to be on YouTube, and there's also going to be a VOD. But also, thank you for the follow. As Ben Shapiro, Ben Shapiro. As Ben Shapiro would say, let's say hypothetically, the perceived stigma faced by anime fans reinforces the sense of belonging in the fandom has among the fandom. Do the results of our paper bear this out? That's a lot of words. I don't know anything about Ben Shapiro apart from the memes, so I'm just going to assume that is actually how he talks. Oh, you just came from YouTube. Okay. It's very cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. We're getting to the discussion section of a paper now. So let's do that. You do actually remember Ben Shapiro saying that. Maybe that's a meme that I'm just not aware of. Normally I'm pretty on the ball with my strange internet memes, but maybe not. I'm really not on the ball with internet memes, actually. I'm not on the ball with memes in general. Everyone's... So there's like two kinds of memes. There's like internet memes, and then there's like memes, which are just like culturally transmitted. I nearly hit my microphone. I'm sorry if that made a noise. They're just like culturally transmitted phenomenon. So it's stuff that like information or jokes or references that moves from person to person. So there can be memes that are just like from TV shows and everybody knows it's a thing. So an example, I guess, would be like like the Netflix Wednesday show, like the dance that she does. That was an internet meme, but it was also just a meme because people that don't share the meme around on TikTok or whatever, they don't know about that. But it's also a really defining moment in the show. So it stuck with loads of people, even if they don't see the TikToks. But yeah, that's a massive digression. Sounds like the nerd emoji. Yes. Let's say hypothetically. Yes. Okay, right. So normally the last section of a paper would be the discussion section. So the discussion section just describes what the results mean in kind of more simpler language. They talk about whether your hypothesis was found, whether the results reflect your hypothesis, or whether you found something else. But then it also talks about those findings in relation to existing theories, so how your findings support or contradict them. In the example that we're looking at here, they give a very brief summary of all of the findings, and then they go on to explain how those findings link to different models. So for example, the rejection identification model. Internet memes are a subset of meme memes. This is true. They are just a method of spreading memes. Very, very true. Okay, and then when you get to the end of the paper and the writing's all finished, you'll come across the reference section. So references are really important because they show your thinking. They show the sources that you drew upon to map out your study and when looking at how your study fits in with the existing literature. So you have to list all of the sources that you've used in your work. Different fields have different styles of doing this. The example that I've got up right now is APA style. So that's the American Psychological Society. And that's what we tend to use in psychology. I think it's actually the American Psychiatric Association. Okay, well, it's fine either way. Whatever. We tend to use APA style in psychology. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, right. Conferences. So, journal articles are all well and good, but another way that we share our research is at conferences. These are basically just science conventions. I have no other way to describe them. That's it. They're just anime conventions, but for scientists. We talk about science instead of anime. That's it. Like, we just come together and we meet each other and we talk about science. So I was pleasantly surprised. I know of a few references to conventions in anime, actually. Like conferences have a little bit of a weird narrative around them in anime. So the top left, I think, is from Steins Gate, but the visual novel. And the bottom right is from a certain magic... No, it's not. The bottom right is from a certain scientific railgun. S. But in both of those anime, or visual novel, I guess, I don't know. In both of those examples, conferences are portrayed as this creepy place where scientists go and they either do something sus, or they share concerning ideas, or they get rejected, and then that turns them down the mad evil scientist path. As somebody who has had 3 people turn up to a talk that I've done, I can confirm it does send you down the creepy evil scientist path. You know, it is what it is. I can't. Creepy place. Yeah, Steins Gate. I've actually got the visual novel. I'm going to play through it at some point and talk about the psychology behind it, because there's a lot of psychology in it. Do you cosplay famous philosophers as well? No, but that would be extremely funny. I would fully endorse this. Okay, so what actually happens at these conferences? They're just science conventions. Loads of scientists will come together to present their research and network with each other. They're normally centered around a specific field. So, for example, I might go to a social psychology conference, or I might go to a meta science conference if I'm, trying to talk about how science needs to be improved. There's pretty much a conference for every single sub-discipline under the sun. Sub-discipline, not dub-discipline. I've somehow managed to make that a meme. We like the subs, not the dubs. Psychologist reacts to Steins Gate. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the actual video title when I do it. Science types fell in love, so they tried to prove it. Yeah. That's an actual anime, isn't it? We should watch that. Not watch it, but I should talk about it. Thank you so much for the follow, Nagito. Oh, it's lovely to have you here. I hope you're enjoying the stream, and I hope you're having a good day. Okay, so science conventions. Yes, right. So sometimes when you submit something to a conference, it will be peer-reviewed, but sometimes it's not. It really just varies according to the discipline. I've been to conferences that do both. I think that the peer review seems to be more common in things like computer science, where the conferences themselves, the papers, you submit a paper, and then it gets published in the conference proceedings, which is basically just a fancy journal that they do afterwards. But psychology doesn't normally do that. We normally just go and talk about the research and meet other people that are doing similar research and get feedback on what we're doing. It tends to be work in progress at psychology conferences rather than fully formed projects. There may also be partying. I can't add to that. I've been to conferences where people get very, very drunk. That's it. Yeah, make of that what you will. In fact, actually, that's like a default of every conference. Like, there will be a wine reception and people go hard. Like, it's a thing. So if anybody ever tells you scientists are boring, don't believe it. How do they party? Do they mix stuff in beakers and chug them? That would be fun, but no, it's normally just very standard. It's like a reception. So like you go and then there's like seats and then there's like canapes and there's like free alcohol and then afterwards you'll go out clubbing. That's it. Like I don't do that because I'm very boring, so I like sitting at home instead. But I know people that have come in, so they've gone out on the night of a conference, they've got really, really drunk with their friends, and they've come in the next day and given their talk while still drunk. That is actually a thing. Yeah, we're quite unhinged. Reminds me of that scene in The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon got drunk. Okay, that's a stereotype. We're not like that. We're actually functional people mostly. And yes, I would not describe Sheldon's characterization as functional. He is a meme. He is everything that people think scientists are, but we're not. We're just normal people that happen to be really obsessive over a specific topic. Okay, right. So there's a whole bunch of different types of conference talks that people can do. There's keynote lectures, which are normally about an hour long, and it's just a famous person coming along and giving a talk on a topic of their choice. Often it's when they're getting to the end of their career, or if they've had a big career achievement recently. But to be honest, it's more of a clout thing than anything else. There is standard talks, so these are normally 15 minutes, roughly. No, they're not. They're normally roughly 15 minutes, and there'll be a verbal overview of one of the research papers or projects that you're involved in. They're normally organised into themed sessions called symposia, but not always. Every now and then, you'll have things that do not belong together whatsoever. It's very strange. You can sit there and you're like, okay, now I'm listening to a talk about how children develop. you know, how they socialize. And now I'm listening to a talk about why people in the Balkans hate each other. And now I'm listening to a talk about how we process emotions. And now I'm listening to a talk about why we believe in conspiracy theories. Brilliant. None of that belonged together whatsoever, but it's all in one session. It's very cool. We love that. Hi, Rainwater. Welcome in. I was just waffling about how conferences are a mess. The revelation that people get very drunk at conferences is yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Welcome back, Lenny. About why the Balkans hate each other. Yeah, that's actually a really big topic in social psychology. We love talking about the Balkans. Okay, so there's also posters, which are basically just a giant printout summarizing either one study or a set of studies. It can be a project, it can be just like one study. They're fairly common for PhD students to do, but sometimes you'll see, you know, professors doing them too. They're a lot more chill than giving a talk. If you do a talk, you're kind of expected to be like professional, and you're often recorded, so you have to, you know, actually prepare. Whereas a poster, you just kind of, you make the poster, you put it up on a board, you stand there and you can do like a 2-minute elevator pitch, but then otherwise it's just kind of casual like questions and answers. I really prefer them, to be honest, because normally the rooms are really busy and you can just kind of disappear into the background if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed. Whereas if you're doing a talk, you're like front and center, and if you're getting stage fright, then that's it, it's happening. Like it's a bit much. You've always wondered why the Balkans hate each other? Yeah, it's actually a thing. I'll probably do a... So I've got an idea for one of the like class session things that we're doing right now, which is like looking at this research area is called intergroup relations. So like why different groups of people hate each other, basically, or why they don't sometimes as well. But my idea is to talk about that in terms of Attack on Titan. So if that's going to be interesting, then yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about it. But it's something that I've been kind of playing over in my mind for quite a while, especially since Attack on Titan is finished now. And it's a lot harder to spoil it for people. Poster method all the way? Yes. Yeah, we love posters in this house. Yeah. I'm not a talk person. I hate them. Because I get distracted so easily, as is probably evidenced by, you know, this stream. Attack on Titan goes really deep in on that. Yeah, that was my thinking. There's like one specific scene that I know that there's been like a few people that have talked about it a little bit before, but there's one specific scene to me that like encapsulates an entire branch of psychology. And I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to get scooped. But yeah, I think I can honestly make an entire like hour-long lecture about just that one scene. So it might be something I come back to a few times. Also, it's really popular. Loads of people have seen it, so it makes it a lot more, you know, accessible rather than, I don't know, talking about... I don't know what the most obscure anime that I've seen is. Talking about the intergroup relations of Gabriel Dropout. Yeah, Attack on Titan's gonna have a lot more understanding going on there, I think. You haven't watched Attack on Titan? Yeah, do it. Otherwise you won't understand my lecture, so it's important. Do your homework. Peak anime in psychology. Yeah, honestly, that's the whole point of what I want to do. I'm so bad at playing games live. Like, I just sit there and I just zone out, and then I'm like, oh, whoops, there's people here. So, didn't Attack on Titan end not too long ago? Yeah, it ended very, very recently. Yes, you have homework now. Sorry. You live for posters. You fumble words, and it's such a good visual guide for something for them to stare at instead of... Yeah, honestly. Honestly, having them like look at the poster instead of looking at you while you're talking, like, it is such a good... I mean, I just use it as like an anxiety buffer, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Attack on Titan as homework is a blessing, not a curse. I hope so. Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, I haven't watched it. Is that bad? Everyone keeps talking about how cool it is, and I'm like, oh. And then like I just keep hearing people being like, oh, it's mid. I don't know. I need to... I'm pretty far behind on my anime backlog at this point now. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. You haven't watched anime in a year. Yeah, I've not been watching much recently. Life has been getting in the way. I have this little thing called a PhD that's stopping me from watching anime very much. My homework is to watch Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I promise. I promise. Attack on Titan is polarizing. Yeah, there's been there was that blog post about the kind of sussy ideology behind it, and then just the ending. Loads of people hated it. I thought it was like a decent ending. I don't know. I thought it matched what the series was. It was kind of weird, but also it kind of fit. So I don't know. Maybe I'm the weird one. Who knows? But yeah, conferences. Yeah, and every now and then, conferences will also have different types of sessions. So, for example, a data blitz, where you've got 5 minutes to very quickly summarize all of the research that you've done. You power through it. That's it. You're done. Yeah. I can't think of any others. All I've got is data blitz. Oh, there's panels, of course. Yeah. There's also panels, like in anime conventions. Okay, right. Everything else. We're on to everything else. We've done the journal articles. We've done the conferences. We are on to everything else. Okay, right. So, psychologists. Oh, my thingy's in the way. No, not the ball. Not the ball. No. Okay, right. So, psychologists have been embracing what they were to argue are slightly less formal methods of sharing their research. So preprints are just self-published articles which haven't been peer-reviewed yet. They are really, really common in other types of science. So I know they're super common in like biology and medicine. They're really, really common in computer science and in astronomy and astrophysics and physics in general. Psychology is only just starting to pick up on them, really. They are getting more popular. They are way more popular than they used to be because they're really, really good for getting feedback. You can send them out to people that you know and you can say, can I have a little bit of feedback on this work? What do you think about it? And then you're basically getting peer reviewed before you even go off to submit to a journal. It's amazing. But also it gets time-stamped. So there's a little bit of an issue, or maybe more of a fear in science, which is scooping. That's the idea that somebody might come along and take your research idea and do it before you can, and then they publish first, and that's it, and then you have to cite them going forward. But if you preprint your work, then it means that you have a timestamp saying, I have already thought of this, I am putting it online, and if somebody else then goes away and scoops your idea and tries to get it published, they then have to reference your preprint. Okay. Does VTubing count? VTubing is not on the list. It should be, though. I'm trying to make it a thing. There's so much foreshadowing in Attack on Titan. Is there actually? I feel like I need to go back and watch the whole thing, because I did this probably the same thing most people did, where I watched the first series whenever it came out. I was probably like 16 or something when it came out. It was like 10 years ago, wasn't it? And then I've just been watching it as it comes out. So yeah, I should definitely go back and watch it again. I need to anyway for the lecture, so. Scooping is stream sniping? I mean, kind of, I guess. It's more like, I would say it's more like Ludwig's yoink and twist. It's like you take someone else's idea and like do it slightly differently. Although maybe not so much, because it's all about doing it before they do it. I guess it's more like sharing an idea in a Discord server for a video and then someone else goes off and does it first. Yoink and twist is crazy. Yoink and twist is how we do science. Because we see someone else's paper, we're like, I like this is cool work, I want to build on it. So we yoink it and we twist it. We do something slightly different. He's onto something, honestly. I don't know if you could even catch all of it when rewatching it. I'ma try. I'm the type of person that like pauses as I'm going through it because I want to like, yeah, pay attention to things. Okay, right. So psychologists are also really embracing things like podcasts. There are actually quite a few kind of long form content type of podcasts where they just discuss academic topics or academic papers in a lot of detail. I listen to a few of them. They're actually really useful. If I don't have the time to like go away and read a paper, I can just listen to two people talking about the paper instead, and it's really helpful. And then scientists, up until very, very recently, were massively on Twitter. Um, Scientists really love Twitter for sharing ideas and links to things like preprints and then getting feedback on things. A lot of them are now moving to Blue Sky and Mastodon because of the great Twitter exodus. Yeah, so that's a thing. Yeah. Okay, what's next? Oh, the references. Oh, wait. I didn't put the example paper on the references. That's so bad. Sorry, I had to adjust myself because I was uncomfortable. Okay, I need to go back and add them onto the reference list because that is terrible. That's so bad. But yeah, that's it. That's the talk. That's it. I'm done. Yay! Oh, I'm so sorry. I think I just maxed out my microphone. More like Exodus. Yeah. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You've got a career ahead of you in making puns, if nothing else. There we go. Let's turn that off. Let me exit out of this. And then I can actually see things again. Yay! Okay. Let's go. Right. The first class is over. Actually, I can move on to just chatting again. And we can see your things again now. So if you want to be seen in the chat, now's your chance. But yeah, I hope that was like, okay, I know that we went off on loads of tangents, but I hope that was at least a little bit helpful. It is almost 4:30, which is the deadline I set myself for ending the stream. So I am actually going to head off because I am really hungry and I have things to do. Oh yeah, the sub goal! Yeah, we did it. We did the sub goal. Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. It means so much. Like, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. Yeah. If you feel like it made it more fun, oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. Sometimes I'm like, am I just being weird? Am I being weird? Oh no. What if I'm just like talking and it's strange? But no, we're not being strange. We're being exciting. We're doing sciencey things. We love sciencey things. So, okay, right. There is yeah, but yeah, I need to go because I need to go pack my bags ready for my flight. So, yeah. You'll try to join earlier next time. Oh, thank you. Turn on the notification thingy if you haven't already, because that's or Instagram and YouTube. I post on them when I'm going live. So if you're gonna have to see it like really quickly because I'm not very well organized. I literally just like I just post on it and then I press the like. Normally I'm already live by the time I post. Yeah, I'm not very good at time management, so please don't rely on things like that. I'm so bad. A new goal achieved compared to yesterday. Yeah, it was only yesterday that we had a class full of people, and now we've got like a big class. It's exciting. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. Is there somebody that we could raid? I like raiding people, it's fun. Oh. Um Yeah, hopefully YouTube is good enough, to be honest. I know that not everybody uses Instagram. Frankly, I don't use it that much, to be honest. I just kind of post stuff. Is there anything interesting happening in science and technology? I can't see anything that's standing out. So I guess we'll just end the stream, unless anyone has any suggestions for who we could raid. Does anyone have any suggestions? So stream schedule, I've turned it off on Twitch at the minute because I'm not working right now. I'm taking a month off from work. I started streaming just because I was bored during my time off. But I try and post my weekly stream schedule on Twitter. No, not on Twitter. I don't have Twitter anymore. On Instagram even, and on the YouTube community page before I do any streams. Normally I'll post on like Monday morning or Sunday evening. Yeah. So keep an eye out on that. Also, if it says like just add half an hour onto it. I'm never on time. I'm always late. Like I'm so bad at being on time for this stuff. Yeah. So I got I don't know. I'm not good at that stuff. I'm not good at time management. Yeah, I don't know. Who could we raid? We haven't got any suggestions for raid. So, I don't know. Should we just raid somebody from the VTuber tag that's got like less than 18 viewers? Should we do that? That might be fun. I can't verify their content though. So, Milky Queen. We've got a suggestion for Milky Queen. Let me look. Milky Queen Idol. Is that the one? Milky Queen Idol is playing Stardew Valley. I've been jump scared, so I can't even check. We can try. Okay, let's try. We're going to go and raid Milky Queen Idol. Let's do it. Let's do it. What's the worst that could happen? So yeah, thank you all for joining. And I will set up the raid as soon as I can actually view the stream once this jump scare is over. Okay, that's it. See you another time. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that there will be more. I hope that I can inspire more people to go and do like sciencey stuff as a VTuber. But yeah, I'm going to start the raid on Milky Queen Idol. Let's go. We're taking a whole class. Let's not forget the thingy. I forgot to do it. Oh, well, we're going. Thanks, everybody. Where is the thingy? How do I do it? There we go, the raid message. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, understandable. Let's go anyway. Bye.